Hello, trading is closed on November 26, 2018. My last call was killed before the open, but let's go over it anyway. I thought this was a very negative pattern. I said if we were to drop and hold it, we should gap under this low. And I said if we gapped under 26.20, we could drop another 100 points in a day. I said the only thing that would kill the call would be gapping up over this high. And I said, frankly, that shouldn't be enough. We should have to take out this high pretty quickly too. Well, we did. This line here is the high and we took it out. So I kind of thought it was out of reach, but it wasn't. This was my target for Friday, a half day. I guess it got hit a bit later than I wanted it to, but at least we get to cross it off the list. And there's a new target of 2661.13, most likely to print tomorrow. It's not a very risky prediction because futures are already trading a few points under that. So here's what MEJT says this move is false. Targets retracing to the top of this bar, 2661.13. Well, since this will very likely print, the real question is how much more does this have to go? That's not so easy, but I'll show you what I have. In my book, this is still the operative pattern. We had a valid break of the TD line. It wasn't reversed in a few days. It should hold, and at some time, we should trade 175 points under the line. Now the line's going up. We could trade as high as 2,700 tomorrow and not change anything. And frankly, we could trade even higher than that. It's kind of a not very helpful stop if you're a day trader. But because this break is valid and because we haven't reversed it promptly, I think this line is going to hold till the target's hit. It doesn't tell us about what's going to happen tomorrow. Well, here's what I have. Here's a diamond on stilts. Half a diamond's enough. You can call the whole thing a diamond, I guess so. Anyway, the origin of the left stilt is here, today's low, and it's a support resistance level. We'll come back to that in just a minute. Here's a wall. Here's a hole in the wall gap. It's an unstable pattern. This eventually fills, usually by Wednesday's open. We fill the gap, undercut this low, and find support there. Now, usually and always aren't the same thing. And when it doesn't happen quickly, the rally can extend. I've seen it go for weeks to months. But if it's going to work, it usually fills within a day or the opening of the next day. Now, here's your support resistance level. Futures are already down to about here, 26.56. Is that where they still are? 26.56.75, close enough. If we're going to see this, the ideal situation, which I can't predict, but which I'm looking for, the ideal situation would be the gap under today's low, gap under this line, in which case this whole rally would be marked as a false move, and then promptly drop down to here. Now, whether or not that's going to happen, I don't know. If it doesn't happen, we don't gap under it, there's a good chance it'll hold as support, and we're not going to see this as quickly as I'd like. Tomorrow's pattern is the one with the early high. Doesn't mean we won't gap down first. Indications are we're going to. And it's just a question of how deep the gap is and if this support holds. If it doesn't hold, I'd look for this to fall. But if it holds, waiting for that to fall might be a long wait. I can't say for sure at this time. Well, this is still a possible end to the ABC down. If it is, it's kind of tough for me to count this wave going up. I'd be happier if we're still in wave round C of blue C. Just because I'd be happier doesn't mean it's the right count. We just don't know at this time. If we rally from here, it's right. If we fall down, I still like 25.20 because usually when you come within 10 points of the low of the ending diagonal triangle, usually you finish the job and have this low print, which is the target of the retracement. Usually you don't fiddle around here, come this close and not see it. Usually when you're this close and this low is that much lower than this low, usually this low falls and you hit your target. But again, usually and always aren't the same thing. So, tomorrow's call, here's our target. Look for the pattern with the early high. And tomorrow's open is going to be critical because if we gap under this low, which isn't totally out of the question since it's only about 8 points away from where we are now, if we gap under it, I think there's a very good chance we see this. But the longer that holds, the longer the wait to see this gap fill as it should do at some point. And that's today's call.